Hey, Shalom Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Baruch Thumb to all the brothers of Israel. Shalom Yahweh Shamar Alatham Bahashem Yahushai. To all the sisters. This is the ISUPK, shout out to 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana Salakia. We're here to teach so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that they are the greatest people on the face of this earth. You understand that they are God's chosen people, according to the Bible. You understand? I am Priest and Officer 50 Iraq, and today, as the title says, we're going to be going over how interracial marriage is a sin according to the Bible. That is an act that goes against the Most High. You understand? Hey, Shalom, Lord of Christ, young man John. It's good to see you in class. All right? You understand? Before we get started, though, just like in every class, I'm just going to ask that y'all do your part and like and share the class. Make sure that we get this truth pushed out to the four corners of the earth. You understand? Everybody does their part in this in this time of fishing, so that we can fish our brothers and sisters out of the world. You understand? It's very important that we do that, because when you come into the truth, one of the many things that you learn is that Christ is not, the Most High in Christ is not waiting for us. You understand? For Christ to return. Slakia. We're not waiting for Christ to return. The Most High in Christ is waiting for us for Christ to return. You understand? And what they're waiting for is for us to get our act right. You understand? To get our act right so that we can actually inherit the kingdom. One way that you can look at it is, you have a child, and your child wants a video game and some new shoes, some candy, whatever it is. They want something, right? But at that present moment of their want, they don't deserve it. They're not doing the things that they're supposed to be doing. As soon as they come home from school, they're supposed to, knock out their homework. And as soon as they're done with their homework, knock out your chores. And then, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is that you require in your household, that child's not doing it. But yet, I'm supposed to give you that new video game as your parent. You understand? You got to look at the Most High in the same exact kind. I mean, the Most High is, a parent. We call him the Heavenly Father. You understand what I'm saying? And the thing is just a lot of us just think that, we just supposed to get these great, wonderful things just because. You understand? And a big portion of that is because we so caught up in watching and trying to be like the other nations that we think that the way that we get like them is to be like them. You understand what I'm saying? And part of that is marrying into them, which is what we are not supposed to do. And that's part of what today's class is. You understand? It's, the objective for today's class is to teach and give y'all an understanding that the Most High is against interracial marriages. You understand? And that's one thing that the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans need to stop partaking in for, the Most High to send Christ back. You understand? Because we have to provoke the Most High. You understand? We have to provoke the Most High to make him, look down on us and say, you know what? They're ready. They're ready to have the kingdom. You understand? I need something to mark this. This would be fine. So, Lockie, give me 1 second. If there are any questions, feel free to post them online. Hey, Shalom, Lord of Christ, Trooper Lock. It's good to see you in the class. It's always good to see you. If there are any questions online, feel free to type them in the chat. I will answer your questions to the best of my ability scripturally. If I am unable to do so, I will be sure to ask a mightier man than myself to get the correct answer for you. You understand? We are not the Christian church where we just pull anything out, pull anything out of our ass just because it sounds good, makes you kind of feel good, just so that you can have an answer. If I don't know, I'm going to tell you I don't know, but I'm going to get you the answer. You understand? There is someone that does know. You know what I'm saying? So just give me 1 minute to like and share this video myself, and then we will proceed with the class. Coming in the truth. Hey, Trooper Halak, can you expound on that question for me, Baba Kashab? What do you mean by before or after coming into the truth? What are you referring to? I'm assuming you're talking about interracial marriages, but what exact, give me more on what you're trying to ask right now, Baba Kashab. Okay, yeah, it's a lot. You said concert. I'm asking you, expound more on your question. Heathens before coming to the truth, is she still your real kind? Okay, so that's actually that's a great question. All right, let's say you end up marrying a heathen, whether it's a white girl, an Asian girl, African, what have you, anybody of the heathen nations, right? Before you came into the truth, you have to look at everything that you've done before you came into the truth is basically forgiven. That slate is cleared off. You understand? Let's say that you had issues with drugs, selling drugs, you was a murderer, you was a thief, interracial marriages, to your question. Whatever it is that you did before the truth was before the truth. You understand? So when you go into the truth, we don't look at that. You understand? We're not judging you on that no more, because that person that used to do those things before coming into the truth, that you don't do those things anymore. That man is dead. You understand? You are a new creature. Now, to answer your question in completion, though, is she still your rib even after you stop sleeping with other nations and whatnot? Yes, she is. You understand? At that point, coming into the truth, to be honest, and I am a what's the word? An advocate, a personal advocate for this. The Lord will remove her out of your life. You understand what I'm saying? But according to the law, we don't have divorce anymore. So you are not allowed to put that woman away. You understand? You're not allowed to, but she can leave you. And in fact, if she tries to leave you, don't even try to keep her with you at all. Don't fight. Just help her back, pack her bags. You understand? Open the door for her. Do that last gentleman act of open the door for her and let her be gone. You understand what I'm saying? We're not. So let me know if that answers your question or if you need more than that. To summarize it though, yes, she is your rib. You understand? A woman, doesn't matter what nation she is, Not that we're even allowed to sleep with the other nations at all. But mind you, we're talking about, to your question, before the truth, and then once you in the truth, no matter who the woman is or what the woman is, once you lay down pipe, bro, like that pipe is set in there unless she basically repipes herself for somebody else. Y'all feel what I'm saying? That's the only way. The only way that a woman no longer officially belongs to you is if she allows another man to come inside her. You understand? To stick his rod inside her box. You understand what I'm saying? Up until that point, let's say that she even, she's like, you know what, I'm gone, and just walks out, and she gone for like 6 months. And then she comes back on that 6 month mark. And she's like, all right, you know what? I want to work this out. Woo. Let's get some counseling. Let's be together again, right? That's still your wife, right? You understand? That's still your rib. No matter what nation that 6 month character just walked away from, you know what I'm saying? That's still your rib. Of course, somebody walks away, a sister walks away for 6 months like that. I strongly advise that you seek counsel before you lay with that woman again. You understand? You do a thorough investigation to be sure that she ain't just saying, oh yeah, I ain't sleep around with nobody at all. You understand? Be sure, because it'd be disgusting to lay down with her after, for all she just laid down with somebody just a few hours before she came back, felt guilty, was like, you know what? I know that, Officer Arak, our trooper Halak, you understand, is going to, give me that fulfillment that I used to have when I was with that brother. You understand what I'm saying? So don't get caught up in that. Be sure. You understand? We all know how these women are out there, especially the women in the world. And a woman is in the world if she is, walking out like that in the first place. You understand? All right, Most High in Christ, I answer your question. All right, Most High in Christ. All right. So lucky. All right, so we're gonna start at the book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 21. You understand? All right, get there myself. So lucky. Genesis 2. So lucky, y'all. I got this new sword and I have a hard time flipping through it. So lucky. Not that it's an excuse, but all right. So lucky. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 21. And the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept. And he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof. Now, hey, Shalom, Yahweh Shamar, looked up by Hashem Yahweh Shai, says, it's good to see you in the class. So off the rip with this verse, what we need to de-Christianize is what we just read. From what we just read, we need to de-Christianize the part where it says, the Most High had removed the rib from Adam's body. You understand? Right there, going forward, and I'm also going to prove this as we go on throughout the night with these scriptures. You understand? I'm just setting a premise with basically what sex is and who we're supposed to be laying down with in the first place. You understand? But right here from what we just read, and the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, right? Man, first of all, let's de-Christianize that first. We have to understand that this book was written by Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You understand me? So, for crying out loud, Moses, he was a Levite. You understand? And today, who he would be is a Haitian. You understand? And Haitians, they have slang and speaking. What's the word? I want to say parables, but I can't think of the what it's actually called. But when we say something like, oh yeah, that's fire. Like that doesn't mean that's literally a flame of fire. Or in this context, we're like, man, you sleep, man. What you talking to a person who is actually asleep? Nah, like bro, you just you ignorant right now. Like you stupid. How do you not see what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? So in this context where it says, and the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, man, the Most High God made Adam basically unaware of what he was about to do. You understand? And it says, and he slept. And so now he was sleeping. He's unaware, right? And he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof. So basically, he took one of his ribs, meaning he took one of the women he was with that he had. You understand? Eve was a woman from his line. You understand? His people, Salaki. That's a better way to put it. Eve was one of Adam's people. You understand? And closed up the flesh instead thereof. So basically, the Most High made Adam go into Eve without him like being fully aware of what he was doing. Like he was just kind of flowing with it, right? And the Most High God closed up the flesh thereof. Now, because that's the only wife that Adam was gonna have and deal with right there. You understand? Because mind you as well, it don't say anything about him having other ribs, right? Verse 22, and the rib which the Lord God had taken from man made he a woman and brought her unto the man, right? So now the Most High, took that sister and brought him to Adam, right? Simple enough. And the crazy thing is how Christianized this Bible is and manipulated, and just like the nonsense that they believe out of the Bible. When you actually read it, is actually quite obvious what they're actually saying, especially when you go into with the mindset that, okay, this is niggas writing this. You understand? This is my people talking. Where, like take for example, quick example, like David. David referred to money as bread. Who else refers to money as bread? It ain't no white folk. It ain't no Africans. And the only Africans and white folk that refer to money as bread is the ones who want to be like us and try to associate with us. You understand what I'm saying? Other than that, no, they say money, and that's currency. Whatever goofy fancy words they want to come up with. You know what I'm saying? So lucky. But moving on. Verse 23. And Adam said, this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman because she was taken out of man. So right here, this is letting you know that he, it says that, and Adam said, this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. Like she came from me. You understand? What produces one thing you need to think about when it talks about bone is you can think of it on a scientific level. What does your bones do? Everybody knows that it helps give your body the structure that it has, right? So then that way we don't look like no rubbery little pancake blob people, right? But what your bone also does is it produces your blood. Y'all know that, right? It creates your blood. Like I remember as a kid thinking, when you cut yourself and whatnot, like that blood that you lose, or that blood you lose from when you lose a tooth and stuff like that, like you never get that back. Because when does blood get put back into your body? So like I was a little kid, questioning it like that, but you know what I'm saying? It made no sense to me. I was never taught that your bone marrow is actually reproducing new blood. You understand what I'm saying? So that blood that you lost gets replenished. Well, you know, Adam is saying right here that this is now bone of my bones. It's like, what is your bones do? This is my blood. This is my people. And mind you as well, and flesh of my flesh. So we are this, you know, her and I, Adam and Eve are the same, you know, they of the same people. Just like how blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the same people. You understand? We are bones of our bones and flesh of our flesh. You understand? We are one and we are the same people. Same thing right here. You understand? Verse 24, therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall become one flesh. Now again, you know, why don't Christians be Christian with this verse where it says that man and woman will become one flesh, like we you know, like a man and a woman is gonna morph together. You understand? Because right here is, you know, that one flesh is just like my being and my ribs being, Adam's being, and Eve's being. It's all it's on the same accord. When you get married to a woman and you stay with that woman and you build with that woman like you're supposed to and don't put her away, you understand? Like you're not supposed to. Y'all begin to grow together to become onto one accord. You understand? And that's what the Lord intended. You understand? The Lord never intended for any of us to have divorce. Divorce was never something that was in the blueprint, so to speak. You understand what I'm saying? When he was building, you know, our nation, you know, when a man takes a woman or women, like that's then that woman or those women are, you know, that's his possession until, you know, the law dictates either he dies or they die. And that's what was intended. And that is still the intention today. That's why Christ took away, you know, completely took away that bill of divorce. You understand? Okay. Yeah, all right. So we're gonna drop that. Basically, right there, we just, you know, setting the premise of, you know, of basic for one, sex, and then also the fact that even Adam and Eve were the same people. You understand? That's a breakdown in itself. To go a little bit deeper into that, to explain how, you know, Adam and Eve weren't the only two people on the face of the earth. You understand? Basically thinking that Adam and Eve populated the earth by themselves is not the truth. Is it possible, man? If the Lord willed it, then it'll happen, right? But that's not what happened. You understand? But again, as I said, that's a breakdown for another time. Right now, I want to stay focused on this topic. So lucky, lost my place in my notes. Let me that was, yeah, that's what it was. All right, so lucky. So we're gonna drop that, and then we're gonna go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 29, verse 10. You understand? And mind you as well, if there's anybody online that's got any questions of, you know, while we're going through anything, whether it's off topic, on topic, what have you, you know, don't hesitate to ask any questions. You understand? As I said before, I will answer them to my fullest ability scripturally. If I'm unable to do so, I will inform you and also let you know that I will get that answer for you on a later date and time. You understand? All right, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 29, verse 10. For the Lord hath poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep. Now, there's a reason why I pulled this verse as well. You understand? To get basically back up what we just read in Genesis chapter 2, verses 21 to 24. You understand? When Adam was put into that deep sleep. So it's like, you understand, we've seen it all over again, right? For the Lord hath poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep, and hath closed your eyes. The prophets and your rulers, the seers hath he covered. You understand? So, because mind you, the prophets and the seers weren't just on the earth just one time. You understand? Just like you yourself that's watching right now, this isn't the first time that you've been on the earth. You understand? And it's not going to be the last. You understand what I'm saying? Especially if you're a so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, you an Israelite. Sorry, but you're going to keep on coming back on this earth. You understand? We're gonna walk this earth for an eternity, just not in the same flesh. You understand? And so that's what this is talking about right here, right? So for the Lord hath poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep. So the Most High basically made us unaware again. You understand? When you know, just like in our lingo, the way that we talk day to day. I know I just explained this, but I'll explain it again, because for all we know, we got somebody just now jumping on into the live feed, right? That's how we talk in metaphors and parables, essentially, right? Where, you know, oh, you sleep. Saying that somebody is asleep is just basically saying that they unaware. You understand? They ignorant. You understand? And have closed your eyes. So now, you know, we're unaware and we can't even see, right? The prophets and your rulers, the seers, have he covered. So the people that are, you know, that the Most High had ordained and created and formed to, you know, push this word out and, you know, basically be the mouth of the Most High God, be the one to lead the people. You understand? He covered their eyes. They're the one, you know, we're the ones, Blacks, Hispanic, and Native American men, you know, we the ones who are supposed to be able to, you know, essentially be the priests and prophets of the Lord and speak for the Lord here on earth, be the mouth of the Most High God here on earth. You understand? And lead our people, right? But there's a time that was taken away from us. You understand? So that we weren't able to see the things that we was doing. We was unaware of the fact that we was made unaware of, you know, the transgressions, essentially. You understand? The sins that we were doing. And you see it today. You understand? A lot of them sisters don't see any problem with the fact that they, you know, posting pictures of themselves half naked on what is it called? OnlyFans and stuff like that, and on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and whatnot. You understand? They damn near just need to be naked. You understand? They see no problem with that. They see no problem with being a whore. It's just, you know, hey, this is my life. This is how I, you know, make my living so that I can eat today. There's nothing wrong with it. You understand? Being a stripper. Our brothers see no problem with, you know, selling drugs or even killing his own brother. You understand what I'm saying? All of our transgressions, all the things that we are plagued by, a lot of us see no problem with it. You understand? And the Lord made that so with that deep sleep that he put on us, right? And mind you, I'm not going to pull the precept, but just paraphrasing it, and this goes into the New Testament, but it said that, you know, that it is high time that we awake from our sleep. You understand? So there's a time that we are put to sleep, and then right now is we are in that high time to wake up, like, all right, and come out of this foolishness. You understand? To stop doing drugs. You understand? To come off those stripper poles. To stop killing our brothers. You understand? To stop loving the other nations. You understand? And stop making marriages unto them. You understand? Because mind you as well, like I said, you know, like the title of the class said, you know, interracial marriage is a sin. We don't see a problem with having interracial marriages. You understand? And that is provoking the Most High God into wrath. That pisses him off. You understand? He doesn't want our men being oppressed even further in the household by some wicked ass white woman or some wicked ass, you know, African that will never understand the struggles of a Black, Hispanic, and Native American man here on this earth. You understand? He wants us to be with our own our bone of our bone, flesh of our flesh. You understand what I'm saying? We're going to drop that. We're going to go back to Genesis, but we're going to go to chapter 29, verse 13. You understand? All right. So this is the book of Genesis, chapter 29, verse, I said 13? Yeah, kind of. Verse 13. And it came to pass when Laban heard the tidings of Jacob and his sister's son, that he ran to meet him and embraced him and kissed him and brought him to his house. And he told Laban all these things. Verse 14. And Laban said to him, surely thou art my bone and my flesh. And he abode with them the space of a month. Again, you know, I'm trying to establish that understanding of bone and flesh. You understand? It's showing that, you know, sure, he basically just said, surely, like, you my people. You understand? You from my bloodline. We same. You understand? We just establishing that. All right. Now we're gonna jump to the book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 3. Book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 3. It's a lot, y'all. Lock. All right, this is the book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 3. For I could wish that myself were accursed from Christ, from my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh. You understand? You are his relation, the relation that he has to his people is according to the flesh. You understand? Paul is an Israelite according to flesh. You understand? And that's what he's explaining right there, right? All right. And we're going to go back to Genesis again, chapter 6, verse 1. And right now, I know it's a little bit repetitive, but people are stiff-necked and hard-headed, for one. And two, damn near say this every class. You understand? Niggas love to repeat themselves. You see it all throughout the Bible, and hell, you probably hear me do it all throughout every class. You understand? But that's also part of how you know that this Bible is, you know, is written by Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You understand? It might have been tainted by the oppressors. That's why, you know, the Bible is it's distasteful when you're in the world, when you have that worldly perspective of the Bible. You understand? Like, I'll admit, when I was in the world before I discovered the ISUPK and the Commander General Yohana, you know, I thought the Bible was it was retarded. I didn't know much about the Bible except for, you know, the normal society standard, you know, that God loves everybody unconditionally or whatnot. Like that genuinely, honestly, bothered me. You understand that the fact that, you know, people taught that God loved everybody unconditionally. You understand? Because one of the issues is like, okay, so then what is the point of hell? You love me unconditionally, so like, why is there hell? You understand? Obviously, there is a condition to your love, or else you would let everybody dwell with you. You understand? All the people that you love, right? Because it's not like you want to sit around people that you hate. You want to be around and associate and surround yourself with the people that you love and that love you, right? So you know what I'm saying? That was one thing that really bothered with me when I was in the world. That worldly perspective, man, like, that's why it's important. That's why That's why it's important that in the beginning of every class that everybody likes and shares these videos, not just the Las Vegas videos, but anything ISUPK related. You understand? So that the world can see that, you know, that worldly perspective of the Bible, for one, is a lie. But two, you know, to learn the truth about who they are, especially them being blacks, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. So they have the opportunity to really call themselves by their real names. You understand? So like, all right. So this is the book of Genesis, chapter 6, verse 1. And it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. Now, Pete, this is getting into, you know, this right here is setting up going into Noah, right? And, you know, we all know that at the time of Noah, the Most High flooded the earth. The reason why, what we just read right here, right? And it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair. Them sons of God, man, it's the sons of Adam. You know, yeah, the sons of Adam, the sons of Adam's seed. We weren't supposed to deal with, you know, the other nations' daughters. You understand? And intermingle with them, right? Well, else like it, and have interracial marriages with them and have children with them. We weren't supposed to do that. That's part of why the earth got flooded in the first place. Now, mind you, again, that's going on again today with interracial marriages. And we all know what, you know, what's supposed to come in the end this time. And the earth is, you know, the Most High God is about to burn this up, partly because of interracial marriages. I pray y'all understand that. You understand? Because these transgressions that we have against the Most High God is what is provoking him to destroy the earth in the first place. You understand? Because that wicked, he don't want no wickedness here on earth. You understand what I'm saying? All right. Now we better start getting into it a little bit. All right, so the book of, now we're going to drop that, go to the book of Matthew, chapter 24 and verse 37. 24, verse 37. All right. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 37. And it's written in red, which means that our King, Yahushua Mashiach in the Hebrew, or Jesus Christ in the English, is speaking. You understand? The book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 37. But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark. You understand? So they was partying, having orgies, having sex with, you know, whomever and whatever they could. You understand what I'm saying? In those days of Noah is the same days of today. So if you reread what we just read, but as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. Which means we are in the days of the coming of the Son of Man. You understand? We are in the days of the return of Yahushua Mashiach. So you should be mindful when you decide, when you're about to make a decision. You understand? Take into consideration of, you know, is the Most High okay with me doing this? You understand? Would God kill me for this? For if I were about to roll up this blunt and smoke it, smoke this cigarette, or sleep with this whore, sleep with this heathen? You understand? Sell this drug to my brother. You understand? Take those things into account, into consideration, and think on them hard and thoroughly. You understand? Because you know what? You thinking about it hard enough might basically think you out of doing it. And that in itself just saved your life. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, we're going to read on. Verse 39. And knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. So basically, what Christ just said, man, like it was heavy. Because you know what? At the time of Noah, nobody knew that the flood was coming, aside from the fact that Noah was saying, when people come and mess with him, why is your weird, goofy, old ass building this big ass ark? Because the flood is coming. Nobody believed Noah. And you know what's crazy? Nobody believe in the ISUPK today. But hey, that's all right. When that time comes, Noah didn't know exactly when it was gonna flood until it started to rain, until them springs started to open up and that water started to flood the earth. You understand? It's the same thing with us. We don't know when Christ is gonna return until that sky is cracked open and them doggone missiles and war nukes and all that fire and destruction starts coming down on the earth. Then it's all right, mission closed, mission complete, mission accomplished. Because like I said in the beginning of class, we're not waiting for Christ. You understand? Christ is waiting for us. You understand? So if Christ returns right now, we accomplished what the goal that the Most High God in Christ wanted us to achieve. You understand? So like. Lucky. Okay. Oh, understand. All right. So, all right, we're going to drop that. Now we're going to go to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 3. All right, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. And that right there is plain and day. Plain as day. You understand? Christians love to go over, just look over these things. Because in the Christian church, those churches are houses of wickedness and sin. You understand? They encourage you and welcome. They welcome and encourage you to sin and transgress against the Most High God. If they didn't, those were truly houses of God and they was about serving the Lord, why don't they read this? Why is it that they're worshiping? They're coming together to praise the Most High God with heathens. You understand what I'm saying? That's not supposed to be the case. You understand? And mind you as well, why is it that there's interracial marriages within the church? Where it says right here, neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Who is the them? We're going to read the first verse for context, right? Book of Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 1. When the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and hath cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites, and the Girgashites, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Salakia. I haven't been up to date on my hooked on phonics, so my reading might be a little bit bad if I mispronounce something. Salakia, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. So these are 7 nations, right? That the Most High, listed. You understand? You know what? We're gonna read verse 2. We're gonna read on through. Verse 2. And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them. Now, mind you as well. So we did start from verse 3. So y'all already got, a little idea, right, of what we're not supposed to do with them. But now we read verse 1 to find out who it's even talking about, right? And it basically listed them as enemies. The proof in it is verse 2. Because the Most High just said that when he delivers them to us, we are to smite them. In other words, kill them and utterly destroy them. Nowhere do I see it says, have sex with them, sleep with them. You understand what I'm saying? In fact, it says, thou shalt make no covenant with them. Is it marriage making a covenant between you and a woman, or that woman and a man? That covenant that is not to be broken. That's what marriage is. When you have sex with someone, you are creating a covenant with them that is not to be broken. But right here in verse 2, it's talking about how we're not even supposed to make a covenant with the nation of people. And to finish it out, it says, nor show mercy unto them. We're not even supposed to show them mercy at this time. When the Most High God delivers them to us to be smitten, we're not supposed to give them any type of mercy. But yet, in our wickedness, and also with that spirit of a deep sleep that the Most High God had put on us, we think it's okay to have interracial marriages. We think it's okay, even though we were supposed to utterly destroy them. Now we think it's okay to lay down with them. Now, mind you as well, keep in mind, what is that? Is it Micah or Malachi? Let's find out. 3 and 6. So I'm gonna just read it instead of talk about this verse. And after I read it, you'll see why I'm even pulling this. No, it's not Micah. So is it Malachi? Is it Malachi? 3, 6. There we go. So this is the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 6. For I am the Lord, I change not. For I am the Lord, I change not. Maybe somebody didn't hear me. For I am the Lord, I change not. Again, this is the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 6. For I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. So, put that into context from what we just read here in Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 1 through 3. Put that into context. You understand? Basically, it just said that we are not to, we read in Deuteronomy that we're not to deal with them. We're not to sleep with them. We're not to have marriages with them. We're not to have any type of covenant and show them no mercy, right? When they are delivered to us, we're not to be smitten. We are not to show them mercy. You understand? This is not me saying that, let's look up the nations of who everybody is and find out who the Canaanites are today, and the Amorites today, and the Girgashites today, and then let's start showing them no mercy and beating the shit out of them and whatnot. That's not what I'm saying right now. You understand? What I am saying is the fact that the Most High God has said we're not to make a covenant with them. We are not to make marriages unto them. It's the same thing then as it is today. You understand? Because of course they're not being delivered to us today to be smitten. You understand what I'm saying? So obviously that doesn't apply. And mind you, that day will come when all these nations will be delivered to us. You understand? For us to destroy them. That day will come. You understand? But in the meantime, one thing that does remain is the fact that we are not to have any type of interracial marriages with them. We are not to give our sons to their daughters and our daughters to their sons. That never changes. Mind you, again, Malachi 3:6, another verse that them Christians love to walk over, love to overlook, do not take into consideration. Why? Because then that means the fact that they're eating pork means that they are being sinful. The fact that they are, still doing drugs, sleeping with, another man's woman, or that woman sleeping around, or them being homosexuals and lesbians, all of that, all of that means, that means they would have to stop all that. There would be no refuting that. You understand? Because it was written in the Levitical law. So obviously, if the Lord God does not change, it still applies today. So that's why Christians walk over that. You understand? So that you still have those interracial marriages. And you keep on coming back to the Christian church because your interracial marriage is welcome there and encouraged. You understand? I pray you understand. Right? Now, we're going to read on to we're going to reread verse 3 and 4. All right? Verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. You understand? Man, don't be giving your children away to the other nations. And don't be allowing your children to take the other nations for marriages. You understand? Verse 4. And this is why. For they will turn away thy son from following me. For they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly. Now, let's think about, how that looks today when people have interracial marriages. You can take, let's do something simple with two people of the Christian faith, the Christian religion, but two different denominations, right? Where you can have a Seventh-day Adventist, and they were to lay down with a Jehovah's Witness, right? I'm not too hit with, we're going to say a Mormon, because I know more about Mormons than Seventh-day Adventists, right? So a Mormon and a Jehovah's Witness, like you, right? They marry each other. And of course, they want to hold on to some of their customs of their religious faith, right? And so they make a compromise. Obviously, the Jehovah's Witness doesn't want to do, they believe, they're not supposed to do the Halloween and Thanksgiving and stuff like that, right? They don't do those holidays. But the Mormon's gonna be on some like, okay, but can we just kind of do this? Can we kind of do that? Basically, let's clean it up so we're not necessarily doing it, but we're still doing it. That compromise. You understand? Either that's going to happen, or one of them is going to give up their denomination and convert to the other. Because for one, you want to please your partner, you want to please your lover, right? So that's what happens. And we're just talking about within one religion, just the Christian umbrella, which all that religion don't even matter because, Christians is dumb as hell anyways, right? Now, put it into the context of us Israelites dealing with anybody, any of the other heathens. You mean I got to give up something my God commanded me to do to please you because you want to worship, your little stupid tree worship or your rock worship or your moon worship. You understand what I'm saying? When the Most High God told me not to give no power to any of that. Don't worship that because you know who gives you power. You know who watching over you. So don't recognize none of that. You understand? That compromise turns, what does it say? What does it say? Verse 4. For they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. Now, you might do just one small act in the worship of another God. That's still serving that God. That's still giving that God, that other false God, a brief moment of allegiance and servitude. You understand? So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you? This is why the Most High God is pissed. Because we over here sleeping with these other women, these other nations, Salakia, these people of the other nations, and in the midst of it, forgetting about the Most High God. For one, who he is, what he has done for you, and what he will do for you, for his people. You understand? For the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You understand? So, yeah, he gets pissed off and destroys you. So what ends up happening? Black man gets a white girl pregnant, has a couple of kids, builds up, they get some land together, they get a house together, some cars, good business, this, that, and the other. Everything seems real good. He living the white life. He on top. Oh, the Most High God just built him up so that he can fall hard. Because now guess what? That white woman is cheating on him and is decided to leave that black man to take the kids, claim alimony, claim child support, take all the possessions that they got in each other's names, and bleed that brother dry. And you know what? The Lord is going to allow it to happen too. Because you need that destruction. You need to fall from that high horse. Because you know what? You on the wrong horse in the first place. You understand? You want a horse that's racing for the wrong team. You understand what I'm saying? I pray that y'all do. I pray that y'all do. I pray that y'all do so y'all stop messing with these other doggone heathens, man, and playing for the wrong team just for you to fall off the horse and them to sit on top of the horse that you raced to the end of the finish line, but they get the gold prize. Think about that. Think about that. Because the only real good horse in any race is the one that races for your team. You understand what I'm saying? I pray that y'all do. Any more on that? Let's see. And then we'll read verse 6. So verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. So another thing to take into account is when you over there dealing with, Becky and being gay, and you know what I'm saying, and Wan Chong, Fing Fong, and you know what I'm saying, all them other, you know, women of the other nations and whatnot, and the men of the other nations. Man, you dealing with people who are lesser than you. But and mind you as well, God says they lesser than you. They don't deserve you. You understand? That's the crazy part is that we, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, are the one who are lifting them up onto the pedestal that we are supposed to be standing on. You understand what I'm saying? That first place podium, we're lifting all the other nations up to be in first place while they're just sitting there kicking us down. And that's rightfully ours. As a Black, Hispanic, and Native American man, we are supposed to be number one. We supposed to be on top. Not sharing it with the other nations, sharing it with our own. Those that are bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. You understand? Let's read that one more time, so that y'all can kind of understand. Maybe there's some goofy ass Christian in here. You know, that's listen. Salaka, you know what? If you actually watching and you're a Christian, you know what? I give you a hand, and I pray that you keep on watching these classes. You understand? So that you can get that nasty Christian crud out of your ears, off your eyes. You understand? Out your mouth. We'll give you the mouthwash of truth and cleanse you. You understand what I'm saying? Of all that nasty, dumb wickedness that Christianity puts on our people, that plagues our people. It is Christianity is not only a disease, but also a drug. That's one powerful ass drug, disease, whatever. You know, for those of y'all that are big on that whole what is the whole coronavirus vaccine supposed to do? That's, you know, them nut jobs we talking about. Population control. That's what Christianity is. Population control. It's to control you from being a part of that population of those that get salvation. That's how you need to look at Christianity. You understand? It is a disease that is also a drug. It's a disease that you get addicted to. That's some powerful warfare right there. You understand? For thou art an holy people. To be holy means to be separate, to be different, not like the others. Unto the Lord thy God, unto God. God says that you are holy. God says that you are different. God says that you are separate. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself. You understand? Like, take for example, like some of y'all that might be artists or musicians. Well, that's basically the same thing. But you know, someone who likes to draw. You know, you might have a lot of drawings that you like, but there's always that one that you just love. That one creation that you just love more than all the others. You understand? Or, you know, for the musicians, that, you know, you got buku music that you just love, that you created or that you played in. But there's always that one that is your favorite, that is special to you. And it's the same thing with, you know, the Most High God and his people. You understand? The reality is we do the same thing with our own kids. Why wouldn't the Most High God do that? You understand? The Most High God even has a favorite of his favorites. You understand? He's got Moses was one of his favorites. Moses was an Israelite. Y'all understand that? I pray y'all understand. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. On the face of the earth. You understand? Not in the world, so you can't get this confused and mixed up with John 3:16, which is a breakdown, you know, for another day. That John 16, you know, that world is not talking about, you know, the earth, like how this says the face of the earth. You understand? This can't be confused. And one thing as well, if you love the Most High God, then you would love your people like he loves his people. And part of him loving his people is that he wants his people to only be with his people, be with their own flesh of their flesh, bone of their bone. So if you love the Most High God, you would be with your bone of your bone, flesh of your flesh. You wouldn't lay down with, with Becky or Wan Long Shinshong. You understand what I'm saying? I pray that y'all understand it. All right. Go drop that. Now we're going to go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 6, verse 16. So 6 and 16. Yeah. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 6, verse 16. Thus saith the Lord, stand ye in the ways and see, and ask for the old paths. Where is the good way? And walk therein, and ye shall find rest for your souls. But they said, will we not walk therein? Or so like it, we will walk. That's like we will not walk therein. Man, you understand? So let's break that down. Verse 16. Thus saith the Lord, stand ye in the ways and see, and ask for the old paths. Man, those old paths, what do you think that is pertaining to? We in Jeremiah. So Jeremiah, what do you think he read? What Moses wrote. What did Moses write? He wrote the Levitical law. You understand? I pray y'all understand. So you need to inquire about those old ways, our original ways, because it's only then that we are able to go the good path, the good way. You understand? And get yourself right and come out of the circumstances that we are in today. And one of those questions is we need to ask and inquire, okay, what women are we to lay down with? What men are we to make marriages with? You understand? That is the question that everybody should be informed with, and know that you know what, you're not supposed to lay down with these heathens. You're supposed to be with a so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American, one of the brothers and sisters that comes from the 12 tribes of Israel. You understand? All right, we're going to drop that. Now we're going to go into the Apocrypha. We're going to go to the book of 1 Ezra, chapter 8, verse 84. If I may, I love the book of Ezra, both of them. All right, this is the book of 1 Ezra, chapter 8, verse 84. Therefore now, why does that just sound weird to me? Salakia. Therefore now shall ye not join your daughters unto their sons, neither shall ye take their daughters unto your sons. Damn. Now Ezra is saying the same thing that Moses just said in Deuteronomy. And what do you think? Whose writings do you think Ezra's read? Ezra's read Moses' writings, because Moses came before Ezra's. You understand? And Ezra's had this understanding and redocumented it, because these are the things that needed to be resaid to our people. Because every time we lose our way and that deep sleep comes down upon us, we stop dealing with bone of our bone and our flesh of our flesh. We start dealing with the other nations, and we have to be reminded why we are in the condition that we're in is because you can't get your hands off of Becky. You can't leave Carl alone. You just have to be with Ben. You understand? All right, we're going to drop that. Now we're going to go to the book of Tobit, chapter 4, verse 12. Oh, there it is. This is the book of Tobit, chapter 4 and verse 12. Beware of all whoredom, my son, and chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers. Man, this is a conversation that I'm going to have with my sons. You understand? My newborn son, when he becomes an age where, we got to talk about, y'all say the birds and the bees. I've never understood why that was the name of it. Honestly, maybe somebody could tell me why, talking about when a man loves a woman and this, that, and the other, how that got switched up into birds and the bees. But you know what I'm saying? That will be a conversation I have with my son when he becomes an age. With all my sons. You understand? Like, be aware of all whoredom, my son, and chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers. Man, go get you an Iscariot. Go get you a Levite sister. A so-called Haitian, a so-called Mexican, so-called Puerto Rican, so-called Native American. Quite frankly, all the best looking women is in the 12 tribes of Israel. Because if they want the best looking women, why is it that the Chinese is trying to look like the Native Americans? Why is it that the Vietnamese is trying to look like, the so-called Mexicans with that little cholo and chola look? Why is it that, Becky is trying to have a fat ass and some fat lips? Who's she trying to look like? Who are they all trying to look like? The best goddamn women that is on the face of the earth. The most beautiful women that is on the face of the earth. The sad part is y'all sisters don't even know it. You understand? Y'all the most beautiful creatures on this earth. And you try to act like, y'all try to look like the most hideous ones. Like, I was like so lucky, but them damn Asians. Like, them Asians. First of all, they all look the goddamn same. They all look retarded. They all got Down syndrome. You look up animals that got Down syndrome. They look the same as Asian people. They all look the same. They same, but different. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to get confused with who my wife is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be able to identify my wife. You know what I'm saying? But mind you, like, they just ugly. Like, so lucky. They stink and they ugly. I don't understand people who just like Asians. Like, I lucky. And I have very bitter feelings towards, Asians. You understand? Especially what had transpired at the beginning of this year with the Stop Asian Hate bill and whatnot. Like, that really boils my skin. It boils my blood. So lucky. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, y'all know how I feel about our oppressor, the colonizer. But a very quick second for most hatred of all the nations on the earth is most definitely, those nations that the Oriental nations. Like, I strongly dislike them, to put it lightly and kindly. You understand? I have no love for them. Absolutely none. Salaki. But you understand? All of them women are trying to look like our women in the first place. So why not just get the original, right? And take not a strange woman to wife. Damn. Toby on the same thing that Ezra is on. Ezra is saying on the same thing that Moses was on. What do they all have in common aside from the fact that they saying the same thing? I mean, how about the fact that they all prophets? How about the fact that their records got preserved by the Most High God for us to read today for our learning of before times? You understand? Like what we read in Jeremiah 6 and 16, that we need to, like, just to paraphrase it. I still have it here, so like, let me just read it for you. That we ask We ask for the old paths. You understand? All of this is preserved for us to ask of the old past so that we can get ourselves right and do the right things. You understand? And part of that is it's not taking a strange woman. It's by taking a woman of the seed of our forefathers, of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You understand? From a woman from the 12 tribes of Israel. You understand what I'm saying? Which is not, I'm gonna read that from the top. Beware of all whoredom, my son, and chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers, and take not a strange woman to wife, which is not of thy father's tribe. For we are the children of the prophets, Noah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Remember, my son, that our fathers from the beginning, even that they all marry wives of their own. That's like it. Remember, my son, that our fathers from the beginning, even that they all marry wives of their own kindred, and were blessed in their children, and their seed shall inherit the land. You understand? Man, that's excellent wisdom. That is excellent wisdom to give your sons. Don't be dealing with these other nations, bro. Your child, your seed will be blessed with the inheritance that it will get. You understand? Because mind you, as well, I don't know if Trooper Halak is still watching, but let's say that now you in the truth, and you were to decide to lay with a heathen woman now, right? Obviously, you would be dealt with for that. But say that you have a child, right, with that heathen woman, and wanted to go to Passover, that child wouldn't be allowed to go to Passover. You understand? Because you willfully sinned and slept with that heathen woman and bore a child with her after knowing you're not supposed to. And the law says that, I think it's 2, 3, maybe 4 generations that those children, that child seed that was begotten of that heathen woman, cannot come to the Passover, cannot come be a part of the congregation. You understand? Like, even though that they Israelites, because they came from your loins, they came from your seed, right? They will not be allowed to come to the Passovers because you willfully sin, knowing you are not to do that. Now, just on a side note as well, to also clarify on the other side of that, to go back to that like original question, like if you had a child with a heathen before the truth, that same rule does not apply, because of course you did that in ignorance. You understand? You did that in that deep sleep that was put upon you. You understand? I pray that y'all do. All right, you know what? We're going to read verse 13 as well. So verse 13, the book of Tobit, chapter 4, verse 13. Now, therefore, my son, love thy brethren, and despise not in thy heart thy brethren, the sons and daughters of thy people, in not taking a wife of them. For in pride is destruction and much trouble, and in lewdness is decay and great want. For lewdness is the mother of famine. You understand? Like, Toby, like, he really putting you on game, bro. Like, you can don't put your self-pride above anything, really. Man, humble yourself first and foremost. You understand? But the fact that you think that you better then having a sister, like don't do that. Because you know what, part of that famine and part of them curses that is put upon our people because of the pride that we have. Oh, because a lot of brothers in the world, they don't want to deal with with a lot of our sisters. You understand? Because of how our worldly sisters are. And I emphasize worldly sisters because of the fact that the sisters in the ISUPK were once worldly sisters. You understand? They might have been loud, noxious, mouthy, you understand, disrespectful, what have you. But you know what? That's who they was. You understand? That's who they were. But those sisters, them same loud sisters and whatnot that are now in the truth, that were were finally given that proper guidance and grooming. You understand? And that man in their life that they actually needed to lead and to teach them as a father figure, mind you. I'm not even speaking about, their husband is doing it, which may be the case for some sisters, but ultimately it does come from that grooming does come from Commandant General Yohana. That's why our sisters in the ISUPK are so valued and valuable. You understand? Because for one, these sisters in this school came out of the world being loud, obnoxious, mouthy, being all type, being worldly sisters. But now they humble, they obedient, they, understand rank and order. You understand? Like they are respectable, beautiful. There's an actual word in particular that I'm looking for, and I can't. It's on the tip of my tongue. It just won't come off. Basically, the way that y'all look at, like, y'all see, like, them little royalty princesses and whatnot, how they just all etiquette and all that, all that crap. That's our sisters in the ISUPK. They better than that. You understand? Because they changed themselves. So in your pride, you should not be on some, I don't want to be with a sister like that. Mind you, you can reforge that sister. You have that ability to reforge that sister and make her into help her become that new creature. You understand what I'm saying? But instead, you want to waste your time, energy, and seed life on Becky, who ain't never going to change. Who will sit there and, tell you she understands the struggle of a black man and tell you all sorts of lies and bullshit to lock you. But then in the end, like I said earlier, have you put a couple babies in her, build some, some riches with her and some property and whatnot, just for her to take it all from you. You understand? It's a lot. All right, so we're going to drop that. And we're going to go to the book of Judges, chapter 14, and verse 1. This is the book of Judges, chapter 14, and verse 1. You understand? If I make so lucky, give me 1 second. All right, so lucky. All right, so this is the book of Judges, chapter 14, correct? Yeah, chapter 14 and verse 1. And Samson went down to Timnath and saw a woman in Timnath of the daughters of the Philistines. And he came up and told his father and his mother and said, I have seen a woman in Timnath of the daughters of the Philistines. Now, therefore, get her for me to wife. Then his father and his mother said unto him, Is there never a woman among the daughters of thy brethren or among all my people that thou goest to take a wife of the uncircumcised Philistines? And Samson said unto his father, Get her for me, for she pleaseth me well. You understand? Y'all understand what we just read? Samson has seen a heathen woman. He's seen a heathen woman from the nation of the Philistines, right? Thought she was beautiful. And told his mother and father, like, hey, go get her for me. I want her. But his mother and father did the brotherly and sisterly thing to do, the brotherly and sisterly thing, which was like asking, like, yo, is there not somebody of our own people that you would want? Like, why is it gotta be somebody who is, of another nation? Why you want to deal with somebody of this nation? You understand? Trying to help him back onto what he's supposed to do in the first place. You understand? Well, it's so lucky. Give me 1 second. Okay, so lucky. But y'all understand that? His mother and father understood that you ain't supposed to be dealing with, women of another nation. Man, keep it within our own people. Marry your own people. And you know what's crazy? Is a lot of times, most of the times, traditional people of their traditional cultures, like traditional Chinese, traditional African, stuff like that, man, they get really worked up, mad, completely disown their children when they decide that they want to marry somebody of another nation. You understand? Because it's like, what's wrong with our people? Now, of course, there's a lot wrong with the Chinese and the Africans and all them, and white people and all that. Like, but in their eyes, they see nothing wrong with themselves. You understand what I'm saying? So it's the same thing. We have to have that same mentality instead of praising them, brother. Like, okay, brother. Like, I see you. Got yourself a snow bunny. You got yourself, a little white girl, a little snowflake coming up in the world. That's not a come up, bruh. That is not a come up. You understand what I'm saying? That white one, so what's her name? Serena Williams. Her having that white husband. That is not a come up at all. Your mama is already on top of the world and stooped herself so low, getting with a white man. And mind you as well, like hawking a deep, disgusting spit in her father's face after everything that he had gone through in his lifetime. And I'm pretty sure had even taught his girls about those things. And yet still they got with a white man. And their father lived through it. So it wasn't just like, oh yeah, you're just hearing stories about your grandparents, your great-great-grandparents, the lineage and stuff like that. Like, no, this man has to look at your child and hold your child and put all that history that he lived through behind him, all that hatred behind him because of the children that you bore with this white man. You understand? Now you turn. Ooh, that's Mm, mm-mm. That right there is grimy in my opinion. So like what they did. That right there is straight grimy. You understand? But you know what? We all have to have that kind of mindset. You understand? That Samson's parents just had. Like, man, stay with lay with your own, marry your own. You understand? All right, we're gonna drop that. Go to First Kings 11 and 4. Book of First Kings, chapter 11, verse 4. All right, this is the book of First Kings, chapter 11, verse 4. So like, for it came to pass when Solomon was old that his wives turned away his heart after other gods. Let me just read that one more time. All right, before we read on. For it came to pass, so over time, when Solomon was old, when Solomon became an old man, over time, when Solomon became old, that his wives turned away his heart after other gods. His wives, King Solomon's wives, turned the most wisest man to ever live, and the most wisest man to ever live, turned his heart away from the Most High God to their gods. Now, what did we read in Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse, what was that, 5, I believe it was? Just to paraphrase, we ain't gonna pull it. But we're not, it was verse 4. That the reason why we're not supposed to give our children to, our sons to their daughters and their daughters to our sons, our sons to their daughters and their sons to our daughters, so like it, is because they will turn our children's minds, their hearts, after, to other gods. It'll turn their hearts against the Most High God. The wisest man that had ever lived is a victim to that. So for you to think that you might be that exception, you are a goddamn fool. A goddamn fool. You think that you more wise than King Solomon? Man, if I may, Yahweh Shai Mashiach, Jesus Christ, he was Solomon. And Christ was so wise, was wise enough that when he walked the earth as Christ, he's like, you know what? I'm not even going to deal with women in this lifetime. I got to make sure I stay on track. Because Christ knew women would get in the way and ruin things. So like, I don't want to say ruin things. That's way too harsh. But make it more difficult. I'll say that. Of course, women do make things easier, but at the same time, they do make things more difficult. You understand? Especially when you are a man on a mission like Yahweh Shai Mashiach was. There really wouldn't be a woman who could actually deal with a man like that. You understand? Like, of course, women wanted him. It's the way of the scriptures that women wanted him, but they wouldn't be able to actually handle and deal with that because, he was a man that was always on the move, trying to help all of his brothers and sisters. You understand what I'm saying? Not allowing anybody to deter his heart, his mind from the Most High God. He stayed focused. You understand? We read that from the top though. For it came to pass when Solomon was old that his wives turned away his heart after other gods, and his heart was not perfect with the Lord his God, as was the heart of David his father. Now, you want to know what's heavy about that? Is the fact that it just said that David's heart was perfect after the Most High God. Even though that he committed adultery, and even though that he basically committed secondhand murder, on the woman that he committed adultery with, her husband, to try to cover up his adultery. You understand what I'm saying? He still was, the Most High God still said that his heart was perfect unto him. You understand? Because ultimately, and the reason for that is, even though that David might have messed up, well, not might have, but messed up, it's like King David messed up here and there, and committed adultery, murder, whatever else he did, his heart was always sorrowful for the wrongs that he did, because he kept his mind on the Most High God. You understand? King Solomon, however, allowed these women of other nations deter his heart and mind. Well, heart is mind, but it's like it, from the Most High God. You understand? And that's why King Solomon his heart wasn't pure then. You understand? It wasn't it wasn't perfect. You understand? Do I want to keep going? I think I want to drop down to okay, yeah, you know what? No, we're gonna read on, because this class isn't necessarily about multiple wives, but this will clear something up as far as marriage, right? Since we're pretty much on the topic about marriages in the first place, right? So read it on, verse 5. For Solomon went after Ashtoreth, the goddess of the Zidonians, Salakia again, and after Milcom, the abomination of the Ammonites. That's already two different nations. That's two ribs that it's at least listing right now, right? And Solomon did evil in the sight of the Lord. It went not fully after the Lord, as did David his father. So far it's not saying anything about the fact that he's got more than one wife, but the fact that the wives that he does have so far are women of other nations. And what did they do? They turn his heart to their gods. You understand? Verse 7. Then did Solomon build an high place for Chemosh, the abomination of Moab, and in the hill that is in the hill that is before Jerusalem, and for Molech, the abomination of the children of Ammon. And likewise did he for all his strange wives, which burn incense in sacrifice unto their gods. And the Lord God was angry with Solomon, because his heart was turned from the Lord God of Israel, which had appeared unto him twice. Said nothing about the fact that he had multiple women. It was just the fact that his heart was turned from the Most High. That was it. You understand? And that's one thing that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American men, y'all need to realize this, bro. Not only do you have the best women in our nation, but also lawfully, righteously, you can have as many as you want. I'll say as many as you can handle, and that you should seek counsel before taking on multiple, because you know what? You might not actually be cut out for it to have more than one woman. There's a job in itself to do that. You understand? To balance two households like that. You understand? Or 3, or 15, or 500. You understand what I'm saying? But the Most High God wasn't upset with King Solomon because he had buku wives. It says it right here. We have to go off of what is written, not what, not like how the Christians feel like, I don't think that you should have more than one wife. I don't feel like that's right. Everyone should have one man, it should be one woman and one man, and that's that, even though that they're over there, having sex with, another man's wife, or that, that man's wife is having sex with, the pastor and everybody else in the church. I don't want to hear it from them in the first place. That's why you should not and do not get any type of understanding or breakdowns from those Christians. You want to learn how to actually understand this Bible, you come into the ISUPK you come into the ISUPK under Commander General Yohana. You understand? And you get the proper understanding. But the reason why the Most High God was upset with him is, and the Lord was angry with Solomon because, it says because, it tells you why he was upset. His heart was turned from the Lord, God of Israel, which had appeared unto him twice. You understand? So you summarize that, put that in a nutshell, why the Most High God was upset with, with King Solomon. What does it all start with? The fact that he was dealing with women of other nations. That's why. It had nothing to do with the fact that he had multiple women. Because the bad thing about it is the people that are real big on, some of those, Solomon's teachings, what do? They go through all of his, not all of it, because obviously they're not referencing the Bible and whatnot, but the records of, like Hindu and stuff like that, the other nations that, Solomon basically gave knowledge and wisdom from, or gave knowledge and wisdom to, they kept some of those records, and they basically combined all of them. So it's like, you'll have the shield of David with, the Hindu star flower thing, and, and basically all of those other faiths and religions of that time, and they basically stack it all on top of each other, and it's supposed to be some ritualistic nonsense and this, that, and the other. But the point is essentially that created people like myself before I came into the truth, where I was one of them people where I thought that, I kind of thought that, the way that God really worked was you had to take all of the religions to put it together to actually get the full truth and to get the real truth. But that basically came out of what King Solomon did when he was dealing with all those women of other nations. Y'all understand that? I pray y'all understand what I'm saying. It had nothing to do with, the number of women he was dealing with. It was the number of strange women he was dealing with. Because now it's, one way to look at it is, like what it just said here at the last line, which had appeared unto him twice. This is a man who had the Most High God appear to him twice. A man that had God appear to him twice, but yet still made, altars to Molech and burn incense to this God and did this ritual and did that, religious practice and this, that, and the other. This man witnessed God, had God appear to him, and was doing everything else. How does that look? It kind of sounds like what I just said, what I kind of believed before, where you're supposed to jam-pack all of religion together, unify them essentially, and that's how you get the truth of the Most High God. That's not the case, though. You understand? That had begot confusion. You understand? This is why we don't deal with women of other nations. You understand? Okay, so we're gonna drop that and go to the book of Judges, chapter 3, verse 1. Wait, didn't we just read that? No, we read 14. Okay. So Book of Judges, chapter 3, verse 1. Okay. This is the Book of Judges, chapter 3, verse 1. Now these are the nations which the Lord left to prove Israel by them, even as many of Israel as had not known all the wars of Canaan, only that the generations of the children of Israel might know, to teach them war at the least, such as teach them war at the least, such as before knew nothing thereof, namely five lords of the Philistines, and all the Canaanites, and the Sidonians, and the Hivites that dwelt in Mount Lebanon, from Mount Baal Hermon unto the entering in the Hamath, unto the entering in of Hamath. And they were to prove Israel by them, to know whether they would hearken. And they were to prove Israel by them, to know whether they would hearken unto the commandments of the Lord, which he commanded their fathers by the hand of Moses. And the children of Israel dwelt among the Canaanites, Hittites, and the Amorites, and Perizzites, and Hivites, and Jebusites. And they took their daughters to be their wives, and gave their daughters to their sons, and served their gods. And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord, and forgot the Lord their God, and served Baalim and the groves. You understand what we just read right there? So first of all, the Most High God is basically puts all these other nations to prove us. You understand? To see if we really are, going to be obedient unto the Most High God like we're supposed to be. Just because we see somebody have something nice, shiny, and expensive, and it's a heathen, are we going to be like, okay, well, maybe I need to do what he's doing so I can have that? Or are we just going to trust in the Lord that he's going to give me something better than that in the first place? You understand what I'm saying? We were to be that's basically our test. You understand? We're being tested amongst these other heathen nations, right? But of course, like we read right here in verse 6, and they took their daughters to be their wives, and gave their daughters to their sons, and served their gods. I'm trying to be like them. They got something that we wanted. So part of obtaining and inheriting something that somebody else has, marriage, and of course to keep the peace, we serve the same God. Now we got something really in common. We in the same faith. You understand? This is exactly why you're not supposed to do it. Mind you as well. What do you think happened? And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord, and forgot the Lord their God. You did evil in the sight of the Lord and forgot him and served other gods? How do you think the Most High was feeling right there? Wrathful, pissed off, kindled his anger, about to destroy your ass. You understand what I'm saying? And of course, every time that happens, what is the position that the Israelites are in when we begin to serve other gods? We're not equals. We are never, and in no world and in no situation is a Black, Hispanic, and Native American man and woman ever going to be equal to anybody else. What I mean by that is, of course, we read in Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6, that we are a holy people, a special people unto the Most High God, and we are above all the other nations, all the other people on the face of this earth. We already read that. We understand that. But what about on the flip side? Can I ever be equal to a so-called white man here in America or even in Europe? No. Can you, as a Black, Hispanic, and Native American man or woman, ever be equal to the Chinese man or woman in China, the Japanese man or woman in Japan, the Vietnamese, the African, the East Indian, wherever you want to go, it does not matter. You will never be equal. We are not equal to anybody. Understand that. Because when you go to their home, when you go to their land and you face their government and their laws, and I mean, hell, look at what you're facing here in America. When you're dealing with a so-called white man, you think it'll be any different in China? You think that you'll be given any type of fair trial, the same, on the same standards that a Chinese man would for doing the same crime? Why would it be any different there than it is here in America? You think the Chinese love you? You think they have any compassion for you? If they did, don't you think that they would have came here in America to fight for you? But you want to lay with their women, though. You want to lay with their men, though. Think about that. I pray that y'all understand what I'm trying to lay down. I pray that y'all understand so that way we don't keep on recycling these doggone this stiff-necked stupidity. And I say it's stupidity because, of course, in this lifetime, we're ignorant at first. But it's stupidity is because we will get the knowledge and then drop this knowledge and start serving other guys. According to scripture, this is the last time we go through this bullshit. So I can, from my language. But this is the last cycle. This is the last oppression. This is the last, after this kingdom falls, after this kingdom is over, and, what is that? What do they be saying? We got next. Personally, I really don't even like. I don't even like that. But we are next in line. In fact, we have always been first in line. We just, like I said earlier, we just allow them on our podium, on our stool, on our standing, in our first place podium. You understand? We allow them to stand on our pedestal, ride our high horse that keeps them in first place. But in the midst of it, they kick us down. What you as a Black, Hispanic, and Native American need to realize that the only way that you will be dealt with fairly and actually have a real lovable, good marriage, any opportunity of that, is if you deal with your own and stop running to these other nations to be like them and for their help. Because you know what? In their eyes, you're just a nigger. You're just a spick. You're just a savage. You are beneath them. You understand that? And that's only because we keep on holding them up. I pray that y'all understand. I pray that y'all understand. What was that? Judges? All right, so we're going to drop that. Now we're going to go to the book of Psalms, chapter 106. Book of Psalms, chapter 106, and verse 34. I pray that y'all understand that. Because the only way that you will be dealt with fairly, righteously, and justly is if you're dealing with your own. You come into the ISUPK where you get that protection, where you ain't gonna be dealing with that nonsense anyways. You understand? And when that nonsense does come your way, you come out on top because the Lord is with you. And the Lord is with you because you're not doing no evil in the first place. So the Lord's not gonna allow evil to come upon you and overtake you because you standing strong with him under his shadow. You understand? And a whole lot of that, today is the Tuesday Brotherhood class. A whole lot of that is you having brotherhood and sisterhood to choose your own over everybody else Just like the Most High God chose your stiff-neck, goofy ass over everybody else. You understand? We have to all have that same mindset as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to choose ourselves and our bone of our bone and our flesh of our flesh, our own people over everybody else. You understand? In marriages, in so hell, even in just simple socializing. You understand? In business, in all aspects of what makes this world go round, we have to choose our own, like the Most High God chooses his people over everybody else. You understand? All right. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 106, verse 34. They did not destroy the nations concerning whom the Lord commanded them. Hold on. It's like it. Okay. Verse 35. But were mingled among the heathen and learned their works. So right there is just saying that, we was commanded to destroy some heathens, but instead of destroying them, we decided to come together and learn their ways. Right? Verse 36. And they served their idols, which were a snare unto them. And then we started, serving their gods and their idols, which was a snare unto us. It was something that trapped us, right? To get us basically, so then it puts us in a position where we are holding them up instead of standing on the pedestal, riding the high horse that belongs to us. You understand? Verse 37. Yea, they sacrificed their sons and their daughters unto devils. Verse 38, and shed innocent blood, even the blood of their sons and of their daughters, whom they sacrificed unto the idols of Canaan, and the land was polluted with blood. And they had us doing manners of wickedness, bro. Thus were they defiled with their own works, and went to whoring with their own inventions. So they got to the point where we started doing creating even our own manners of wickedness in the midst of, basically taking their shit and making it even worse with our own works. You understand? Therefore was the wrath of the Lord kindled against his people, insomuch that he abhorred his own inheritance. Man, we time and time again piss off the Most High God because we keep on wanting to serve other gods. It's like your child, being straight disrespectful to you when you're the one who feeds them, provides for them, clothes them, you know what I'm saying? But yet they want to call you by your first name and call, Becky mom, or Trevor dad. Why knock your snaggle tooth ass the hell out? Disrespect me like that. Matter of fact, never mind, I ain't gonna say that. But how do you think the Most High God feels? When the Most High God shows us great wonders, blesses us to no end, but yet we want to be like them just because today they have something that I want, and I want that now. So I decide, okay, you know what? I'm gonna do what you do, raise you up even further so that you can get something that's even better than that, for me to just keep on chasing after the better things that you get, when all I get is just bits and crumbs, if I'm lucky, of what in comparison to the things that they get. You understand? That's how that snare works with us going after their ways and putting their works in ways for ourselves, instead of just simply doing as we are commanded by the Most High God to serve him. You understand? Verse 41. And he gave them into the hand of the heathen, and they that hated them ruled over them. Their enemies also oppressed them, and they were brought into subjection unto their hand. Many times did he deliver them, but they provoked him with their counsel and were brought low for their iniquity. We're gonna stop there with that. But you understand, we keep on chasing after them, chasing after their daughters, chasing after their sons, chasing after their money, chasing after their materials. Things that the most, man, you think they baddest female that they have of any nation, you think you cannot tell me is gonna be more bad than an Israelite woman. Period. I don't give a damn what you say. Because you know what, to keep it a buck, me personally, man, the sister got a good spirit on her. She easily more of a dime piece than, some whore ass bitch that's got, big ass eyes, nice lips, this, that, and the other. Man, she got a good spirit on her. That good spirit, I'll take that good spirit sister all day. All day. Because you know what? Then I don't have to worry about, her mouthing off to me, being disrespectful, doing this, that, and the other. We can actually grow together on one accordance. You understand? Become one flesh. You understand? Or when I leave the house, I know that the person that is up, that is taking my command of the house, that is taking over from my absence, is going to basically run the house as if it was me. You understand? I don't have to worry about coming home and, come home on a surprise visit or come home a little early and she's in the bed with another man, or she got Christmas tree up, or, Halloween decorations, got the kids in costumes. You understand? Or she hiding stuff around the house, in little eggs and stuff like that. I don't have to worry about that with a sister that is of the spirit, that's in the spirit. You understand? But I bet you that big old fat ass girl though, I bet you, yeah, man, she bad. She do this, that, and the other. I do some nasty fun things, but what else do she do? How sure are you about her? I choose peace. You understand me? I much rather have peace in my life. You understand? But hey, to each down. We're gonna drop that. We got just a couple more, and then we'll close this out. I just want to finish this up. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, verse 11. Hath the nation changed their gods? Hath the nation changed their gods, which are yet no gods? But my people have changed their glory for that which doth not profit. These other nations have had different gods throughout their history. The Greeks to the Romans, that's the same people. You understand? A lot of the gods are the same, just different names. But then they also have different characteristics. They have a different story. They have a different this. They have a different that. Different gods. The Nordic, you understand? Hell, even the Chinese have gone through different gods. At this point, they're actually an atheist state now, because it's being when you have your people on atheism, they have more control, governmental control. You understand? But mind you, we change our glory to go and follow that which has no profit, does no justice. We give up following the Most High God to go and worship, the Hindu God, the Hindu transgender God, Shiva, whatever the hell, its name is, and grows dreads and stuff like that in the worship of Shiva, right? For what profit? For you to have nasty, funky ass hair? And mind you, and more importantly, the fact that you just pissed off the Most High God by doing that. You understand? All right, we're going to drop that. We're going to go to the book of Ezra. The book of Ezra, chapter 9. Oh, Lord. There it is. Chapter 9, verse 2. This is the book of Ezra, chapter 9, verse 2. For they have taken of their daughters for themselves and for their sons, so that the holy seed have mingled themselves with the people of those lands. Yea, the hand of the princes and rulers have been chief in this trespass. So mind you, it is a trespass against the Most High God for interracial marriage. You are not supposed to do it. You understand? It is a sin. It is a trespass. The Most High God finds it offensive that you would choose these people of other nations over your own. That's almost as if Adam said, no, I don't want Eve. Eve's not good enough. When the Most High God basically chose her for him. You understand? We're going to drop down to, oh wait, is it through 8? All right, yeah, we're going to drop down to the book of Second Ezra. Not Second Ezra, slide. The book of Ezra, chapter 9, verse 8. And now for a little space, grace hath been showed from the Lord our God to leave us a remnant to escape and to give us a nail in his holy place, that our God may lighten our eyes and give us a little reviving in our bondage. You understand? So basically, it's just talking about there is a way out. There is a way to come out of, interracial marriages. There is a way to come out from, serving these other gods. That doesn't have to be your life forever. Just because it's not for you in the first place, but because of the fact that it's not for you and you got into it, like, even though you're not supposed to, it doesn't mean that that's what it is forever. That there is no way back. The Most High God did allow a way for us to repent. You understand? That you can repent from the transgressions that you had committed, that we have committed. You understand? I wouldn't be here today. I probably wouldn't be here today if I wasn't first of all, obviously I was given the opportunity to repent and I took it. But I recognized it first and took that opportunity. You understand? All the brothers and the sisters in the ISUPK, the same thing. Majority of us were not born into this. I wasn't born into this. I was in East South military when I discovered the truth. You understand? Sitting there in Afghanistan, damn near pleading with the Lord every night to allow me to come home. You understand what I'm saying? And guess what? When I came home, in a very, very short time, I was shown this truth. You understand what I'm saying? I pray that y'all understand from this class what I set out to teach and to give y'all the understanding that interracial marriage is against the Most High God. You understand? For those of y'all that might be in it currently, of course, I always highly, strongly encourage to seek counsel on how to deal with whatever your said situation is. You understand? But for those of y'all that ain't caught up in it, stay the hell away from it. And mind you, be a good brother, be a good sister. And when you see one of your brothers and sisters, and I don't mean just, like y'all came from the same father, y'all came from the same mother, if not both, brother and sister, but those of your people, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man, if you see them going after some heathen, some Becky, some Wan Chong Fing Fong, some African ass woman, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, yo, bro, sis, leave them alone, man. They ain't no good for you. Hey, it's no good. They just gonna give you nothing but just issues. Let's just leave it at that. You understand? Nothing but issues will be in your future dealing with that individual. You understand? I pray that y'all understand. And with that, Shalom Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Barakatham to all the brothers of Israel. Shalom Yahweh Shamar Elatham Hashem Yahushai to all the sisters. Class dismissed.